There are just 2 days left until a TikTok ban takes effect in the United States, unless it is sold to a non-Chinese company. And tonight, Vice President J.D. Vance says a plan to save the app is in the works, with the administration planning to reveal the details in the days ahead. And Harry Kramer is a clinical professor of management and organizations at Northwestern University. Joins us now live to discuss. Professor, thank you very much for being here. I want to get into this. The plan reportedly would allow China to maintain the TikTok algorithm. I have to ask, doesn't that essentially defeat the purpose here?
I think it does defeat the purpose, but I think they're kind of desperate because they said they're going to do something by April 5th, and obviously they're running out of time, and there haven't been a lot of real legitimate bidders now, though Amazon has actually thrown their name into it. But if they're able to keep the algorithm, I don't know if that's going to pass Congress, because Congress, as you know, made a very big deal in January saying that that's going to be something that affects our security as a country.
And they did that on a bipartisan basis. I want to talk, you mentioned there Amazon. There are a couple of interested buyers that we know about. Amazon is one of them. The founder of OnlyFans. Also, how real are these offers? And do you think that is part of what the agreement that might be revealed in the next couple of days?
You know, it's all possible. However, as you know, in acquisitions, the process takes a long time, and this is just people that have come in at the last minute. So it's hard to believe that anything is going to get decided in the next 24, 48 hours. So the question will be, will our president decide, hey, at least there's a legitimate offer, so I'm going to give an extension? And then the question is going to be, how much room and time will Congress give? But right now, other than the Amazon one, not obvious to me that the other people have the financial capacity, given everything that's going on in the financial markets now, to make that actually happen.
We talked about the bipartisan support in Congress for this, but politics has kind of sort of seeped into this now. And I have to ask you, President Trump has given a lot of praise to TikTok in recent days, giving the app credit for young voters, putting him into office. Are you concerned about that cloud in all of this?
I am concerned. I am concerned. I mean, until we figure out a way to effectively deal with China from a defense standpoint, you know, that app and what they can do, and I think we've got something like 170 million Americans that are using TikTok, and the information of that they're able to use, I think that's definitely a security concern. I mean, I understand why, and you said it, this is one of the very few times that we've got bipartisan support for something. So there is a legitimate concern on the part of many, many people that this is something we got to be very, very careful about.
It sounds like you agree that there is a real security concern. Is there, in your eyes, a better way to balance those concerns with this very, very popular app?
You know, for me, the way I teach this at Northwestern, at the Kellogg, the business school, to me, everything is a balance. So to the extent that people like using it, and it happens to be something that works very, very well, then it would seem to me if we can figure out an agreement where it's owned by an American company and we have the rights to the app and we can actually separate it enough so that we reduce the security concern, that seems to me a reasonable thing to do it. As you point out, this thing is so popular now that I'm sure you've heard that when people said we may end up stopping using it, there'll be enough Americans, in my mind, even a worse situation, that will actually get on the device and get on the system directly from China, which in my mind would actually be a worse situation.
You've written lots of books on leadership. What do you expect to happen when the dust settles here, Professor?
Great question. I always say no answers, many opinions. I actually think Congress is serious enough about this. There's enough bipartisan support for this now. I think they're going to push the president to actually find somebody that will acquire it. And right now, I think the most legitimate one would be Amazon. And they'll basically tell Amazon that you're going to have to do this. And by doing it, you would have to have the full rights to it, so it gets separated enough from China that it eliminates the security concern. If that doesn't happen, I think the president's going to be in a real bind.
We'll see what happens. Appreciate your insight. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Always good to see you folks.
All right, take care.